Hi, welcome. I'm so glad you guys are here. You're getting me in a really good vibe right now. Let me go ahead and adjust this thing. Awesome. Oh shit, look at this raggedy ass shit, brother. Sorry, y'all. Let me clean it up for you guys. Welcome. I go by the Holy Cow. This is a little summer zodiac series that I just felt really called to do in July because we have some really spectacular movement in the sky astrologically. So thank you guys so much for being here. I am honestly so thrilled to get to connect. I'm gonna take some tea open. Okay, so basically I have the remaining zodiac signs on little pieces of paper. I'm gonna just like pick one at random. This has like actually been like making me, I don't know why the zodiac sign is like making, like I feel like you guys are like sitting across me on a date. Like that's how it feels. Anyways, let's see who God wants to go next. This is like fucking, my hands are like hot. Like so maybe that's like your vibe is like you're super nervous this summer. I don't know. Okay, let's take, that's the one. Okay, stop. It's like, I don't know. I really don't know. You know, but I don't know. Anyways, maybe that's interesting how that plays back. Virgo? That's actually hilarious. Actually, because like, I was like watching, I was like dancing. I was doing the Cancer New Moon thing where I was like letting myself have a little joy. So I was like dancing to the Morning Dew video. But obviously Beyonce is a Virgo, so, and it's just like a very like, it's like a waterfront film, but like the film makes you think about heat, you know? So it's like, anyways, I was like reflecting on that. So Virgo, oh my God, what's up? It's like, yeah, I felt like we were on a date, Virgo. Okay. Cool, Virgo, what the fuck is up? Hi, I'm gonna do my job today. So let's chat ski. I don't really have any off the top downloads. Like I told you, it was like, feeling kind of warm. But yeah, look, I said I don't have any off the top downloads for the, it's also the Cancer new moon. You know what I mean? So maybe head empty for the new moon. I don't know. We'll see what's up. I have no idea what's going on. Genuinely, I don't. I'd be really excited to see what God has for you. Hold on, I'm gonna shuffle a little bit more. Ugh, Virgo, so come in. Yeah, chill. Virgo, I didn't see that coming at all. You know? Split the deck. Let's see. Oh my God, what the fuck? I swear to God, Virgo, you're making me like nervous. Judgment. Super. Virgo, what the fuck? No, like what the fuck? Like no, what? That's weird. Virgo, that's probably why. Like I've genuinely, like in my sensory experience, I feel the sensation of like something being like right on my ass right now. Dead ass. Like it's kind of like you're, like I feel like we like Virgo, I don't know. I have no idea. You'll have to tell me. Are you coming face to face with the star? I also feel like Virgo, you have, it's like a truth. It's like, Virgo, okay, so you might be going through this experience where it's like, because of how genuinely hot in your physical vessel you're feeling, it's like, it determines, this is being caused by this dynamic. Where it's like, that's definitely like, I just feel this feeling, Virgo, with you where it's like, I feel like, Virgo, you're like being kind of set free right now in a really deep and intimate way, because it's kind of like, you're having this internal breakthrough where it's like, and this might kind of come off as like toxic even, but it's like, it's a little bit of like a spiritual bypass. And it's funny because I thought about how Virgo was going right after Pisces or whatever. And I felt just kind of like bypassing it. Like, I don't know, like your King of Swords is like if it wasn't a star, I wouldn't be bypassing this, like, at all. But because it really is destined and fated for me to start, it's like full claim. Like, my spirit claims the fuck out of you. I don't know, Virgo. I don't know. I feel like my ego self is like wanting to be like controlling who this message is going to. Because I just genuinely do not, I mean, and Virgo, I feel like that's what someone is, like, that's what this is causing. Like, you're having some, like, anatomy situation happen. This, like, inducing heat. And I genuinely feel like someone's kind of like me. It's like, I wouldn't even, like, I just wouldn't expect Virgo. But nonetheless, you're spiritually upright, like, checks out. So it's like, right. Right. It's not that it's not like it wouldn't expect her. It's like, I just genuinely wasn't tracking that. There was just maybe not evident, like, but this is also like your spiritual truth. So only you could verify that. And I think that's what we're kind of being deferred. We're getting pushed down a very narrow canal right now, Virgo, because this is about like the truth of your spirit. So it's like when this is like what's happening in your body, like only you would know, like, I can't endure not dealing with this appropriately. Like, I can't, no, this is like, Virgo's like, I need to tell this, but it's got to be the grown man truth, like King of Swords. Like, it's got to be a full grown truth. Because it's different now. I feel like your body is taking over in a certain way that genuinely, you're probably like me, like your mind is like just not like allowing that outcome to be the thing. And I think it's just because it was doing the mind thing based on like how you functioned up until this point. But genuinely, it's like your body, your spirit is taking over. Like, the spirit in you is like driving the boat in terms of reacting to this frequency. And I feel like it's like when there's also like, it's visible. It's like very clear. That's a star. That's a fucking star. Like, I don't know, just having this moment where it's like, take it as it resonates. But you are the King of Swords. And I also feel like, Virgo, it's like there's a very deep reckoning happening here for you, because it's like, okay, so we're talking about this external star frequency, right? But at the same time, what you're being upgraded in or elevated in is that the failed relating cycles for you in the past have always stemmed from that you're a star, Virgo. And so sometimes the repetitive cycles are because you are going into things not feeling the way that you should about yourself, attracting a mirror of that non-truth. That's going to create fear, false evidence appearing to be real. And I feel kind of like there's this feeling of like your spirit had to kind of take over. I don't even know. We'll see where this is going. It's like that's what's driving the boat about this. I also just feel like this is an aspect of you that was dormant. Like, there's something about it. It's like, it's only this star had, this wasn't here. This is almost like a mutation, if you will. Like, it wasn't like this. It's never been like this. It's not like this is what it is, but it is this way for the star. And I feel like there was a point, because I was having between the last read, between Pisces and Virgo, I was going through the axis, and I was like, kind of just feeling a little fragmented, a little bit of depression, because I was just kind of feeling like, oh my God, like I was dealing with my fear that like there isn't any like love for me or whatever. I guess it's like my fear right now, right? And then I guess when I got to your reading, it's like kind of hitting me that it's like, no, that's actually exactly the sign that the love is alive. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, there's something about the fact that it's like, it's supposed to be set up this way. Like, it's supposed to be going to shit. It's supposed to not be working out. It's supposed to be da-da-da-da. Because you, Virgo, like, Virgo, there is this star energy that has the real key. And it's a key that helps you not only know that there's a door here, that you've always had a door, apparently, but it also is like it can be opened by this thing specifically, this star. And your energy right now is just like really sitting, nothing could shake your spirit. Like, this is like not the time that any smear campaign, nothing's gonna, like, about a Virgo's reputation is gonna change. It is what it is with a Virgo. Super interesting. Virgo, you might have really benefited from this message that I was kind of like meditating over yesterday evening. Was kind of talking about how I think you might have thought that, like, Three of Cups, like the company that you keep, I don't think you understood that concept, that you think it's harmless to like befriend something or like connect with something or be associated with something. And actually, associations, it's not even about a harm, like a good or a bad thing. It's just they do put you on paths. And I think you finally realize, like, I think that because it kind of came on, and like I said, I was feeling kind of despondent, and then I was kind of just like caught off guard and surprised by Virgo's energy altogether. I was surprised that this is like, and then I was surprised by this sort of like hot feeling that I was feeling, because I was really feeling like just like not great in a sense, because I was kind of dealing with like betrayal, but it's like I'm starting to learn that it's like betrayal that's coming from someone who's not understanding like an equation. Like, you ever had a student, or you ever been in a math class or like witnessed this, where it's like someone's like doing the equation wrong because they obviously don't understand, like they don't know, so there's like education that's missing, and there's something that's missing. So it feels like your King of Swords had to come through and is teaching you now through some of the ways that, like, I feel like your body, there's something that's causing you heat, there's a reaction to this phenomena within you, this star. But it's letting you understand that you cannot have the path of the star and your spiritual truth, Virgo, and have just the motley crew, because these things are going to take you down all types of paths. And I think it's just too much to manage. So you would have to make a decision right now, Virgo. What are you wanting, in your future? And then you can ask yourself the question of, like, what are you willing and able to commit to? What can you realistically do? Let's see, Virgo. Yeah, Virgo, I think you are just like in the middle of a very much a spiritual awakening. I feel like, also, Virgo, I'll share with you, I feel like God has like really been calling me to like initiate like a portal for people to kind of work through and do some sort of ascension, starting and things like that through the studio. And so maybe that's kind of like what's the theme is, like, as you're going through this ascension, you're starting to understand third parties are actually like directly in conflict. Like, I think, Virgo, you were in your King of Swords and maybe you picked third party with your spirit. It's like because now I see it. It's like when you felt hot, you may have King of Swords. Okay, so Virgo, this is kind of what I'll say. This might have to do with like processing sexual emotion, sexual attraction specifically, because I feel like this is someone who like tells you they like you by like bullying you, you know what I mean, or like tells you they like you by like leaving you out, or like it's like very kind of like immature. I think there could be a lot of development in like Virgo's like love sector, but I think it's because of the like bullshit lack of development that your archetype and sign gets in general. Like, people just like overgeneralize you in a pretty bland way. Like, people think of Virgos in a pretty like oats and potatoes ass way, and it's just so like offensive kind of. And I've had so many proper Virgo like life relatio type of situations with humans, and yeah, they're so dynamic and so yeah, the last thing I would do is describe them as bland or like whatever. And it's kind of a lot, actually, the energy with Virgos. And so, Virgo, I feel like I want to say this. something makes you so hot, and it comes from a sexual awakening. So you may not even, because you could be either or. It's like you're having kundalini sexual attraction energy rising in you, and it would be for the star, something that is actually your muse, that actually would be attractive to you, right? But it's like the way that you're communicating it is like, because it's like someone's looking at you like that would be your big dumb self, but it's like your way of like dealing with it is like third party, essentially. Because it's kind of just like so much. It's kind of like it's like school. Like I feel like this Queen of Cups is like kind of like, inner child school crush. So yeah, I feel like it's like you're getting to go back for your inner child right now and like be awake, I guess, in that phase, and like kind of like pick and like, okay, I feel something about what it's like, because I feel like that's how you're responding to your body about this thing. It's like you're like, like what, like it's almost like, when you get mad at someone, like like a young boy or something, and he's like, the first time he accidentally like has an accident or something, and it's like it's just like you don't know these things, your sexual organs and things, as you're growing and developing. So it's like it's that type of thing, or it's like your period stain, things like that, and it's just like the primordial like, I feel so embarrassed, like, oh my God, like, why are my sheets wet when I wake up? Like, what the hell? Like, oh my God, mom, like, wow, like, almost like, Virgo, I'm like seeing you like screaming and being like freaked out. Like, no, like, no. This like Queen of Cups is like making your body like, and it could be across whatever lines or whatever. And I feel like it's because you feel that way that it's like you picked a path with this like third party energy, but it's like, it's like you're literally like kind of being like, this is how I'm trying to get you, and it's like, I don't know how that's gonna work. I think it might even be like making someone walk away. So that's kind of a lot to deal with. Let's see where you're at, Virgo. Yeah, Virgo, in the recent past, you thought you could pull up to someone's boundary because I think you're abusing the fact that it's like, I'm the King of Pentacles. Again, there's something about how like your image out in the world is King of Pentacles, and there's a lot of underdevelopment. It's not even like necessarily like an outright judgment. It's just like you're not actually as developed, or like, this is kind of like a Virgo being like, everybody thinks I've had so many had so many partners, or I'm so experienced in sex, and I've actually like never really had any, or I don't really know about that, or like it's like shit like that, because I feel like when you pull up on the star low key, it kind of gives, you're at the boundaries and you're like kind of confused why it's like the boundaries are still up and they just keep moving forward with their investment. But it's because, Virgo, it's like you look like a King of Pentacles, yes, but 10 wands, no thanks. And I think I actually am trying to give some clarity. It's the third party. Yeah, Virgo, there is a dynamic here where there is like the King of Swords in the relationship the truth is you had a third party. It doesn't really, obviously you want the Queen of Cups. Right, we want our cake and we want to eat it too, but your truth, what you chose, because I think you thought you were just picking a friend, but that's how they got you, because you didn't know this, Virgo, that your friends come with past. I think, Virgo, you just dipshitted some shit, like, again, because it's looking that way. It's like, oh, fuck. Like, I really could not afford that, because it's like, your spirit is what you're showing up with. But when your spirit chooses 3 of Cups, the Queen of Cups respectfully walks away. Because I think, Virgo, you need to understand what you've done. you did something way more, like, I think that's what I'm saying, like, it doesn't mean that you're not aware of how bad this is turning out, but you do need to take accountability here for what you said. Like, you need to understand what you're saying and doing, because it looks like you want entry into something there are boundaries up because you asked for them to be put up. And now you're trying to get into boundaries you put up. It's like, that doesn't make any sense. You're also, like, not registering that the truth, the real spiritual truth, is about what you truly, genuinely, really did say about this. And I think the fucked up part is, if my body serves me correct, all the motherfuckers in this situation are actually just moving. The core truth is they're moving from the fact that this fucking Queen of Cups makes them feel Kundalini energy. But let me tell you how to grow up. You're just attracted to them. You don't have to, it's like this, it's that kind of frequency. It's like, you really want to fuck. You don't really want to fight them. That's like what I want to say. Yeah, that's exactly what this is. It's that energy. I think people can see that playing out with you, Virgo, where it's like, if it's so discord, like at some point you're kind of just like stirring the pot, because it's like this is horny energy. Like you have a lot of desire for this. It's like, it's so like, it's a lot. It's a lot, because I think it's kind of translating as like heartbreaking. And it's so funny because I feel like for Virgo, you're sweating literally, like you're literally sweating. You're literally sweating, and yet it's you're sweating from how like you're salivating at the mouth at this thing, and it's communicating like heartbreak. Because you have to take accountability for what you really did do. When you thought that picking people didn't come with paths. This is where Virgo also, we can't like move around and just like dump people. Like you don't really like don't just, Virgo, it's a self-worth thing, right? We talk about this. Like, have strong self-worth so that way you aren't walking around discarding people because you couldn't discard yourself. It's not possible. So you're not really like doing anything productive when you're trying to just walk around and be like, oh, fuck it. If I fucking get into some shit, I'm done with those bitches. I'll just leave those bitches. Like, I think sometimes Virgos, you can kind of get caught up doing some shit with people. And, you know, you can kind of just be like, oh, whatever. Just whatever about it. And it's just not that light. But yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Virgo, this is also a classic case of just like, it's like a hand you played in spirit and in truth is kind of like the wrench in the plan here. Because it looks like you're not even really trying to fight that you like this thing. I think it's because of it's like you're kind of in a like, the principle of the thing has you rung into some bad karma. I think with the awareness that you've received, Virgo, you really wouldn't do what you did. You wouldn't choose that third party energy. Again, because I think with some awareness and with some understanding of like what boundaries are and what's appropriate and what's like not appropriate, like what doesn't, because I just feel like this Queen of Cups is just like, I obviously don't get to Queen of Cups status by fucking around with my open heart. I don't, you know? But I think Virgo, it's like you and who you're affiliated with, it really just read to this Queen of Cups as like Virgo. It's like, it's funny because Virgo, really your whole involvement in it, your whole shit in it is you like feel like you're like, whoa, like you're Kundalini's everything. But if you're not emotionally mature or intelligent, then you're probably rolling around like this, Virgo. And this type of energy, third party energy, is going to interfere with the fact that because this is basically like being like, do you know how uncomfortable it is when you're having like a bodily experience in front of somebody? This is like getting a boner in class. You know what I mean? It's like maybe Virgo, you're just like inconveniently positioned with a bunch of like the goon, and it's like you acted out because you didn't have a safe space almost to express what was actually happening before you could even say anything about it. It's like, oh shit. How do I explain that? You know? So you just kind of went asshole to just kind of like, yeah. So all in all, it's like Virgo's important because whoever's at the target of this, it's like they have success. I mean, the success was kind of proven too. I feel like this is kind of a rejection wound thing too. It's more like someone just had a boundary with you and you were told no, and then that's really what the whole beef was really started with that. That's kind of the vibe. That's why during their victory, you're coming very Page of Pentacles. You're not coming, like I said, this kind of cold communication, this like this is just someone who's like redacting a path very quickly. Like someone made a decision, not a real, like Virgo, you made a decision not realizing it came with a path and you're redacting it immediately. That's like what the message is. Virgo, I kind of feel like with you, I always kind of go through a little like rigmarole with the like what the fuck is going on with your reading. I don't really know because Virgos, I feel like sometimes I'm so far from where your energy's at sometimes. I'm like really shooting in the dark here, but that's really what this looks like. You fucked around and found out, and it's very quickly like your awareness is like, what did I just say? You made a decision that put you on a dark path that you are rejecting immediately. Yes. Yes. And this is an apology that comes back around because it needs to be said that it's like, this is the type of like person who puts himself as an opposition, but it's like when you realize you placed yourself in the opposition and you're actually like a lover, you're like full spectrum in love with it. I mean, it's like so important because I was dealing with it today. I was like kind of feeling so sad. And it's like, whoa. Even if people make the choice that's like, whatever, it should be love. I was like, I don't feel like I'm a force that should be hated because I'm not actually putting that in. Like a lot of people get upset when they get negative feedback, but it's actually like a reflection of the reality. It's like there's aspects of what you're doing that aren't, but I really do move from 100% ordained movement. So I really won't stop until it's like all straightened out that it's like you're around me and you're paying attention to what I'm doing because you like me. You may have been taught improper definitions of love, but that's really what it is. So I feel like there's a Queen of Wands who really understood that or Queen of Cups who really understood that you've been taught, they were forgiving, they were still open-hearted with you because they understood that you've been taught love incorrectly. You've been taught that love is incorrect. Virgo, you're really ready to send a message to someone that says, I really want to walk down the path where we explore every single book in the library of like our whole soul situation. And you are also in a position, this person is in a position where they feel like they can sit with their value and really just like marinate over how valuable they are, and there can just be equal give and take, reciprocity, right? So Knight of Swords, you really want to communicate that message. That now that you know about paths and what they lead to, that you're not just making whatever choices in a day. Because I think with this Queen of Cups, she feels so deeply about everything. But especially about, like, I mean, it wouldn't change with how she felt about you. It's like she feels so deeply that it's like the apprehension to the Three of Cups behavior is like what it could lead to. You know, it's so loving to hold such a big open heart when it's like you're saying your truth is that you want the Three Cups. And it's actually like really teaching this Queen of Cups just like how to love the wound, the problem. I think you need to know they're like still just gonna collect the data either way. It's like it's just supposed to be a story about like the heart like bursting out of your fucking chest. I don't know, like I feel like that's the revival for you, Virgo. Is like this is literally just some fucking crazy ass process of like your heart, something like this star energy like just reviving you, honestly. I want to say, like, yeah, you've been, like, revived by the star. And I just, yeah, you may not have known what to even do, like, with that. I don't know. And there are days like the Cancer New Moon where you need to be really listening for yourself and you need to be listening for God, because with today, I was really being called to be the voice and kind of keep the whole thing going. Sorry, I'm trying to give you guys more energy. I'm like really like taking in the whole lens of this. It's like you were King of Swords when you chose the Three of Cups, and it just feel like that hurt. Because it felt like you're playing at their boundary again. But now when you look through your spirit, you realize like, yeah, well, what I'm saying is that I want to keep doing and going down that path when I don't. But I just keep connecting to the compassion of the Queen of Cups. It has humbled her to know, like, she has to stare at all of it, you know? Genderless, for this Queen of Cups, this element to the story is just realizing what she's going to have to live. And if she's really true in her spirit and her connection to God, then, like, she's understanding that God has said that that belongs to her. So it's like that type of thing. Like, Virgo, like, it's so, like, gut-wrenching and, like, it's kind of just, like, romantic. But I think it's, like, holding all of that nourishes a part of the soul, because it says there's just, like, such a deep claiming with this Queen of Cups. She's just so not shaken. And maybe in a weird way, Virgo, it wakes you up and it shocks you up, because it's like, to not be shaken by the Three of Cups, even when you're showing up in the emotional immaturity and you're playing at the boundaries. And I can't say, to be honest with you, whether this dynamic with you and the Queen of Cups continues based on your actions. But I can say that this is all about you coming into the awareness about what you did have, what you did do that behavior to, the value and the placement in the current contemporary vibe of that. Let's keep seeing what's going on. Yeah, Virgo, this is a lot of, like, communicating things so that you don't have to stay locked out of anything. And it's like, it's messy and insane and crazy, but it's like, maybe you're a new soul. I mean, I'm a new soul. I came to this strange world. You're like a new soul, and it's like, I'm learning about how to give and take with like my eternal soulmate is what it is. And yeah, it's I don't know, it's so much. But I think you're moving on a very primal instinct that it just feels like forever. It just feels like I think you're just dealing with a different caliber altogether to go from the like karmic third party to like something that feels like a Two of Cups, Two of Pentacles, like an eternal partner. It's like you would just always want this person. I know it's drama, but it's like you would have always wanted this person to know they were never in that category to you. And I guess that kind of just like really matters. You know, that it could never really be like the Three of Cups. Because that would mean you're not really seeing who you are. And I guess like Virgo, it's like better to wait. And like maybe that's the lesson here. Is like no matter how this is all gone, it's like the overarching lesson is like you should allow people to find out who they are before you try to control where the relationship goes. Because it looks like you may have put somebody in a third party situation because maybe you were just like taking advantage of the fact that they hadn't really gotten time to like realize who they really were. So you were quick with the judgment, but in the end it looks like that's actually like none of that matters because that was supposed to be sent to be your Two of Cups. You process them like a bitch ass, whore ass third party. They kind of just are kind of like I said, like you're kind of giving somebody the like, I guess my taste is like shitty people. So they're kind of going on the like journey of like, why would they, like they kind of feel like they have toxic like desires, and that's not great either because it's not really what they have. They just have someone who is actually supposed to be for them. They are supposed to be connecting with, but they are not. They're actually just claiming a spiritual truth that would just make them have to pay for the accountability of that. It's like you can be King of Swords, Three of Cups. You can say my truth is whores. My truth is third party. My truth is fucking being unserious. I don't know. Virgo, if you're super scared of how you feel, like if you're like really scared about what you really feel, whatever it is, whatever makes you feel something, you need to know that it's okay. It may not be okay to these other bitches, but to you and God, like what you naturally feel is okay, and you're super safe to feel what you naturally feel. It doesn't matter what your Kundalini rises for. It doesn't, because it's way scarier in your head than what it actually is. I don't care if it's space, time, whatever, because it's between you and God to deal with. Like how you really feel about something. If you feel like it's inappropriate, just be honest about it. Be honest that you're human, you're gonna have darkness, you're gonna have flaws, and tell the truth. You know, even if it's not appropriate, you need to hold record to yourself so you can know how to start working towards health. But you gotta love what you really love, and you can't be scared. Because I don't know what to say, Virgo. You kind of have like this kind of like chronic sort of flaring, sort of rashy energy, unfortunately, babes. And it's a little bit like there's like a feeling that it just immediately makes you self-sabotage, and it sucks because it's your Page of Cups. Something just like doesn't, the reason the Seven of Swords behavior came out of you is it actually really touched like a inner, like, yeah, something was just like, it's not okay for you to be, for your feelings. Like you were curious about something and you weren't allowed to explore it. And so it's like you're ashamed. You're doing the like regretful thing about it. For whatever reason, this person wasn't okay for you to just like. For whatever reason. So you had to be shiesty because that's what you were taught. It's like, Virgo, you may have just like, this wound just may have had you tell one too many lies because it just looks like this timeline. Someone played on one of your wounds, and this is choosing to believe. Oh man. Someone told you a lie that you chose to believe, and I think the lie was that this person isn't a star. The devil reversed. I mean, they're just like they're not independent. Tower reversed. It's like, did it not goes down. Hierophant reversed. Like, there's no, someone like came up to you with a lie that's like pretty audacious. It's just pretty much just saying something very specific. And to have believed that has put you on this path. And I think I don't think you've realized that you've been on this path. I don't think you thought it was related. All the evidence throughout your life that's been showing up. See the outcome. Plain and simple, Virgo, there is an emperor. You are going to be, there's an emperor who has an incoming blow up that I think, unfortunately, you just got put outside of. Virgo, this is the type of behavior that will get you thrown out of the villa, thrown out of the ship, thrown out last minute. Just like you can go. It's kind of like, it doesn't even matter. It's the type of thing you're going to redact. You can't take it back. There's not even really a conversation because it looks like the Queen of Cups that you did that third party thing to, well, it was just about to blow up. It was about to inherit its empire. So really the only thing that was lost here, this is just meant to really show you about self-sabotaging behaviors because you really love the thing and something that you were taught is the reason that you tossed it out, not really evidence of that thing being like a problem necessarily because of how things turned out for it afterwards. Because like I said, it was a self-sabotaging wound that actually got you to believe that that thing wasn't the star that it was and that it wasn't, that you weren't really like, that it wasn't anything obsessive and it wasn't shattering. It's like the last bit of fear. But I just kind of feel like the energy is like, I don't know where you stand karma-wise with God to whether that little last bit of fear actually did some serious damage and took some shit down. Or maybe you'll still have a chance with this energy. I think I had to read that pretty open-ended because I think Virgo gets it. I don't know. But let me just see if I have any other energy. Like, what is Spirit's advice for Virgo next? Okay, Virgo. Yeah. I think in the matters of like what you are asking about, you genuinely do need to be aware and accept and take accountability. Like if you want to come back with an apology, you need to make sure you say, I like chose a path that ends. I chose Virgo, you need to say, I'm the one who chose for this to end. I'm the one who chose to put us on a path that ends. And I'm sitting here looking stupid because the last thing I actually want is for this to end with you. That's the only thing that's happening here. Because if you're at the Ten of Swords with the love of your life, there's nothing to say other than you were putting yourself on path to do that. Do you see this? You gotta not fight the things that you really love, because it will put you on path. It will, the love will end. And I feel like, Virgo, I'm holding space for you, because if any of you are losing connections and things at this time, this is what God really wants to bring to your attention. You know, the loss of it is because you cannot fight your way to love. You keep fight clubbing and doing your most precious pearl. And I think you're watching yourself do that. It's like your most precious pearl, you're like beating the shit out of it. Not good. You're so rough with the thing you love the most, and it's like hard on it. I think it wants to be held by you. Not murdered, not killed, not beaten. Yeah. You were taught when it comes to love to compete, to win above it. This is also like deep sexuality. Like sometimes if it's easy for you to perform that in a love dynamic, you might not be in a properly accurately assessed sexual dynamic, because you're probably not feeling real feelings. Like you're probably not feeling heat from what you're in a dynamic with. If this was a relationship situation like that, like a romantic partnership. It's just an aside. The recent past. Yeah, Virgo, because it's like in the recent past, it's 10 of Pentacles, King of Wands, 6 of Cups. I think in the past you were confused why what came in. It's like, we got all this. How did we get here? And I'm here to tell you, it's the path you chose. Certain people, God was tempting you, and you failed that. They were connected to your old path. You took it and you ended it. You took the bait and ended it. It was a test. But it was your last chariot. And it's complete. Because you actually did end up murdering it. In the near future, you're going to go from the end to the beginning, from the end of a cycle to a beginning of a new cycle. Let's see. Virgo, it's like being addicted to the healing. Yeah. You definitely need some healing from the toxicity, like divine healing. But you also are at a place where you're ready to embark and create a path that you actually want moving forward from this experience. Your fear space is just getting wrangled up in this energy again, you know? Are you always going to be looping on the same shit, bound by the same shit, showing up in the same shit? Loops. Yeah, Virgo, I just feel like, yeah, you're going to immediately redact that. There's some spiritual darkness associated with some of the lies. There's some spiritual law breaking going on here. Where it's kind of like, yeah. So yeah, Virgo. I told you, I think you are getting dealt with like an opt for the actions. I do think it's important that whoever's dealing with Virgo knows they actually really don't have, it's not like some negatively charged thing towards you. It really was the circumstance of like judging like a situation by its cover without real like investigation sort of deeper. But also Virgo can't really escape like what comes with whatever they really did choose to do. So Virgo, again, we talked about that. We talked about really for you, it was your definition in youth and your childhood. It was like about being told a certain way to express and to show love, and that is just no longer appropriate or valid for you. So learn from this situation truly. Accept the consequences that come from what you've already enacted and gotten in motion. And think deeply in the future about the impact you've caused here to all energies involved. So I'm going to go ahead and take a break, ski, but I gave you my best, Virgo. That message confused the fuck out of me, so I'm going to just like chill for a minute. But love you guys. Have a wonderful summer. And I hope that you bring some real clarity as you go through and navigate this season in terms of how to evolve. So good luck to you, and thanks again. Bye.